Good afternoon, this is Schweitzer, and we're going to run through a little PowerPoint on measurement. You should be aware that all numbers at some point come from a measurement here. And every number has to, unless it's actually counted, it's going to have a tool that is going to give it some sort of accuracy. Some tools are better than others. So this is all about these tools and how the tools work. So measurement basics. Measurement is only as good as the tool used to measure it, whether we're using a simple bucket, a dump truck. You could even be using, something as simple as, let's say, your finger, for measuring out, temperature, per se. So that being said, we're always measuring stuff all the time. You could use your eyes to measure something. If you're measuring, some sort of a distance between point X and point B, or point X and Y, your eyes are really pretty good at measuring relative distances. So, but that being said, there are some things that are better at measuring distances. So, term accurate versus precise. So, accurate really is how close to the measured actual value that you are. Okay, so how close are you to this actual measurement? What the actual value is. Precise is actually about how close in proximity or a value of several trials. So you might say that this guy here is neither accurate nor precise. If we're aiming for the bullseye, we're not actually in the right spot. So this guy here is not accurate or precise. This one here is both accurate and precise. And this one is only precise, but not accurate. Alright, this one's precise and accurate. This one is neither. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to base our measurements off of good, sound judgment. Okay? So that if, let's say, for example, Bob makes a particular measurement with a tool, then this is going to be the same thing as, let's say, Bill. Okay, Bill does the same measurement, so I want to make sure he's getting the same, kind of the same. Now, do they need to be exact? No. Everyone's a little bit different. But you don't want to guess. Okay, so you want to do an estimate based on what we're looking at here. So we're trying to measure out the length of a thermometer here. And it's measure what you know and then estimate one time, essentially, once. So essentially, when you're going to measure this thing, you're eventually going to get down to where you're between two particular lines. Now, if there's only one line there, that's not really enough to get you anything for that, say, okay? It's just to help you in your estimation, okay? So this means that I know for sure that it's 29, okay? And now this is the digit that I'm going to estimate. So I'm going to use my eyes and my brain just like Bill is, just like Bob is, and everyone's going to take some sort of a stab at estimating between. This number can vary, okay? And I might say it's 6. Bill might say 29.5. Alright, that's fine. Bob might say 29.7. You might say something different, but no one is going to add another digit on here. Okay? And no one's going to take a digit off. So really when it comes down to accuracy of a tool is designed to measure a certain ways down, to look certain distance down in the number. As I mentioned in the past maybe, is that when we look down a number, the more accuracy we're getting as we venture down. There are more numbers there. You get a better tool, you could measure this guy and this guy. But in the sense, everyone should look a certain distance with a certain tool. Measure what you know, and then estimate one digit. Okay, so in this situation, just got my answer here. Okay, take a look. Alright, what do you know? There is a mark for the hundred spot. So whether you go down or whether you go up, just marking for hundreds. Okay, that's fine. So what do we know for sure? I want to use this guy here. here. You might notice that a beaker, right, just so you're aware, a beaker, as far as measuring stuff, you know, not that great. All right, lots of tears here. If you're, you know, really, if you're measuring something with a beaker, it's just for general, like a cup. Okay, so we know the 300 for sure. Okay, and then we can aid an estimation between these two spots right here. I'm going to guess that's, I don't know, 6 maybe. So 360. So I knew this decimal for sure, but I guessed on that one. I surely wouldn't want to guess on that one. Okay. So 360. Someone else might say 370. But you wouldn't say 355. You can't guess off a guess. You know, sometimes I make the analogy, if you're making your way through town, someplace maybe you've never been before, and you know you're following a map, and all of a sudden you get lost, and you can maybe guess. I think it's a right turn right here. But if you start guessing off a guess, you're lost. Okay, so you don't want to do that. Just guess, just estimate one time. All right. What does this 0 actually mean? Does it mean nothing? No, it's not significant, by the way, because it has a value. We just don't know what it is. Okay, it's a number that my tool just couldn't measure. It doesn't actually mean 0. All right, so when we get in the lab, we sometimes have these things will creep up the side due to attracting to the glass, or they'll repel away. We always measure at the meniscus of this thing right here or right here. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, so what do we got here? Okay, you have to take a moment and address what do all these lines mean. So 10, it's like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Of course, when you read something, if this is your eye, you would want to, you know, read parallel, you know, to that line. You don't want to look down or tip it up like that. Look straight across at this thing. Now I'm going to say this is what? So we know for sure we're 15. Okay. And what do we got here? 15. I don't want to use this. Okay, this is 16. So I'm estimating this next digit right here. Okay, 0.1. 15.1. All right, so we've done a couple of these things now, measuring-wise. All right, take a moment, practice. What do you think? Pause the video, try it out. Okay, so this is 20, this is 30, this is 40, this is 50, this is 60, this is 70. So I know for sure that it's at least 50, but I'm going to be doing my next number somewhere in the middle. That's not very accurate, is it? That's quite a stab. Maybe 55 milliliters? Okay. Looks like I chose 53 there. Go ahead, give it a try. Pause the video. Okay, so we got here. Now I got 6, and I got 7 right here, and there's 10 lines. So 7, I should say. Alright. 6 for sure. And do I know the next decimal? Yeah, it's 6.1, 6.1, 6.2. Alright, right here. Question, am I on 6.3 or not? You know, I'm going to go 6.29. Someone else might go 6.30. It's completely, you know, I don't know if you can go above that, but that's pretty close. Okay. And there we go. Okay. All right. You got a ruler. Go ahead. Okay, so after you try it yourself, you'll see we're not even at 1. This is actually a decimeter. So it doesn't really matter. 0 point, and I don't even know the first one, so I got to estimate the first one. Then we go 9 decimeters. So in your brain, you're sort of breaking this into like chunks. Your brain's pretty good at this, breaking it into tens or halves, quarters. All right. Another one. All right, this is a tough one. It's a triple beam balance. See how you doing this thing. Give it a try. Alright, so let's see what we got here. So we got 100. This is one digit. Each of these is like a digit. And then you get down to this guy's a digit here. And then we got another little digit right there. And then we got to do this little digit right in between. We still haven't estimated yet. If that clears it up for you, try it again. Alright, here's the answer. 171, and then those all lines. And the last 9 is what got estimated. Give it a try. Alright, so you can't see this one here, but I bet you can figure it out. Alright, here we go. There's what I got. Now notice that in both of those measurements, we use the same tool. And notice we're looking the same depth down the number, same accuracy. How does this work with expensive scales? This one. Again, this thing literally is a grand. So you would never want to put a ton of weight in this thing. A few things about these scales that you would want to be aware of is that one, you can zero it out right here. It doesn't mean you can take any more weight. It just means you can start the number over. Never push down on it. Okay? And then this number doesn't have anything that you need to really worry about. Just read the number off. And these numbers are significant. Okay? And there we go.